getting away from us, but I believe there are those in this room who are going to do exactly that. You're going to run to Him. There's some of you sitting in this room who have been desperate, and today your desperation is going to be partnered with faith. And as the two get together, desperation and faith, God's going to do something significant, dynamic, and powerful in your life. Just punch your neighbor and tell them, go ahead and give it your faith. This morning, as we are just moving right along with what God is saying, and He's already speaking to us. I've been telling you, I want you to write your testimonies down because I can't remember them all. God is doing so many powerful things. But recently, one of our men, Scott Miller, was sharing something with me. By the way, give Scott a big hand. Just sharing something, just short with me. And I could see in his eyes as tears swell up in his eyes, teared up in his eyes, that it was coming from his heart. Just went right along with what I believe the Lord has been saying and is saying today. Scott, would you just share that with us, what you were sharing with me?
I was just seems like the last month or two, God's really been messing me up inside. He's doing something different in me that it's kind of hard to explain. And as I was telling Brother Ronnie, I grew up in a very Pentecostal church. I mean, had a lot of services like what goes on here. And I remember, even as a young child, as the Spirit of God would come into that place and just pressure down, just almost like pushing you down. The presence of God would just fill the place, and you would hit your knees just crying out to God, oh God, I love you, I love you, I want to change my life. And I remember going home from those services, I would still feel that same feeling, but when I get up the next morning, I didn't feel any different. It seemed like I still got up and I was my old self again. I got up and I would do the same things I was doing before, I would talk the same way that I did before. And a couple of months ago, when God began to start really moving through these services, I began to realize after about a month that God was changing me. I began to not want the same things that I used to want before. Not that all those things was wrong, but television didn't really seem to matter to me anymore. Sports didn't really seem to matter to me anymore. I just wanted to spend time with God. And I began to really start asking God, what was the difference between then and now? It was the same presence then. I felt the same way when I would be at church and God would fall upon me. And God began to start dealing with me, telling me that, back then my presence would fill the room and you would allow my presence to come upon you, but you never allowed me to come in. But now you're opening up your heart and you're allowing me to actually come in, and my presence can actually live on the inside of you. And that's what's changing.
This is what the Lord put in my heart. Don't settle for just the settling of God's presence on you. But open your heart so He can soak you. It's kind of like being around dust. And just because somebody stirs up dust, you happen to be around, the dust gets off on you. You can be in the room where the presence of God is, where the Spirit of God is moving, the glory of God is settling, and because you're in the room, you happen to be in the room, it kind of gets off on you. God wants more than that. He wants to soak deep down on the inside of you. So what? So that when it's all said and done, there's genuine change and transformation that is happening on the inside of you. Just tell your neighbor, He wants to change you.